What's up, guys? Unfinished. What's happening? What else we got here? Is anybody in here waiting? I'll have to wait for a few minutes for everybody to jump on. What's up, Dylan? Let's see what's happening tonight. What are you out doing? We'll be in Moraine tomorrow, huh? What's happening, dude? Popping in for a second. Hell yeah. Appreciate you. Hi, Marissa. Here comes Rich.
And I bring good news.
Yeah, what's up?
I got my house out of foreclosure, man. I got my loan modification permanently.
Yeah, I had that battle once a long time ago. I got myself out. It was a struggle.
I had to get I'm getting my ex-wife off of it too. She's not going to have anything to say about it anymore. That's it. This house is mine. So.
Later, Sam Mountain. Take it easy.
Yeah. That's it. Only I got to do a couple more things. I got to call them tomorrow and accept the loan modification. Then I got to get a assumption package, fill that out, send that back to them, and then attach the divorce decree. Because if you don't drill that into their head, they're not going to get it, and they're going to play stupid. So.
Yeah, I had to do the same thing with mine.
Well, it's the first time for me. It's my first house, so my first
Well,
divorce.
I mean, it was mine. I've been here for 19 years.
Mm-hmm.
And 14 years ago, I had to go through that.
And I've been here 20 years, and I'm just going through it now. So,
yeah.
But hey, I'm happy because now it's mine. And if I want to sell it, I don't have to worry about asking for her approval or anything.
Right. Yeah, I've got her name off the deed and everything else too.
Still the same mortgage company?
No, it's been sold a couple times, but
no, mine's with the same company and with the same mortgage holder, the bank or whatever it was. But after the paperwork gets submitted, they have no choice but to remove it, and she already did everything else. She did a bankruptcy.
Yeah.
She did quit claim deed, and you know, I got the property settlement from the court.
Hmm.
So that's
No,
it.
their mom's name wasn't actually on the loan because they wouldn't let her. Her
Well, see,
credit was too bad.
I was surprised that they allowed her to put her name on there. They kept trying to make her as a primary. I'm like, she's not the primary. She had a bankruptcy. They shouldn't even allowed her to have her name on there, period, you know?
Yeah. Well, when it comes to divorce and things like that, there's different things to it. What's up, bro?
I'm just happy now. It's like I do whatever I want now, you know, just make sure I make those payments. That's it.
Yep.
If I have to, I got a way of getting a second job during the weekend, so no big deal.
I almost did it. I almost did a second job.
Yeah, I might have to because the one I'm working with now, it's kind of like iffy, you know, what kind of money I'm making. So,
Another
and
day in
especially with the
paradise. Don't I know, man?
but I'm happy. It's done and over with. I ain't about it anymore. Just got to do my part, and then it's, you know, just up to me.
Yeah.
I get back on working on the cars and posting more videos now that all this is out of the way. I actually started making some of the interior for the car, the
Cool.
seats. It's I don't know how well you're gonna see it, but it's a piece of vinyl,
Yep.
but it's stitched, so it's like it's gonna be tuck and roll. It's gonna have black mats and it's gonna have a turquoise border.
Hell yeah.
So, and the end of that. I don't know if you can see over there, but there's a whole bottom bench of the 57 upside down.
Yep. Chapter 6 to 15, I highly recommend anyone looking at trying to get sponsorship to who's involved in motorsports marketing. Cool. Okay.
Yep. So that's about the size of it. That's my end of the ordeal.
I just need a damn garage.
So do I. I need a garage too. You know what? I was thinking about that too. I was thinking about getting a tire machine and what the hell is the other damn thing? Getting some kind of lift in there. You know, maybe one of those scissor lifts or whatever. And then I'll cement. You know, I'll cement the area where the carport is, and maybe I could find some kind of not temporary carport, but a more stable like structure, you know. So that way I don't have to working in the rain or working on stones or.
Yeah.
I'm getting older and I'm not going to be able to do the things I did when I was younger.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I just went and talked to somebody last week about something similar.
Oh yeah.
So
They give you a good price or a good estimate or what?
well, I mean, this would actually be changing jobs.
Oh, jobs. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what would you be doing?
Somewhat still working on cars, but not.
Okay. Hey, you know, my ex-wife's son, I actually put him through Ohio Tech.
Yeah.
Okay. And if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't have the experience he had when he was here because none of her exes would allow him to get anywhere near a car.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't Mr. Dumbass Backyard Mechanic, you know, he wouldn't get the experience he had.
Well, I have to thanks you know, Jason and James and Jeremy and my dad and all of them for the shit that I'm in now.
Hey, you know, but the thing is, like I said,
I made good money at it.
It's the same thing with me, though, Rob. It's like, you know, if I wouldn't have dove in blindfolded into that car, I mean, you know, technically, you know, just as well as I do, all cars are internal. The engine internal parts are the same. They're not different. You know what I'm saying? The same function, the same reason, you know, rational, whatever you want to call it. And for me to dive into a car like that after what, 30 years of not working on cars. You know what I'm saying? The last thing
You
I
still
ever
know what
did.
you're looking at.
Yeah, but the thing is that, I know how to do it now. It was a learning experience. Yeah, may have pissed off a couple people along the way, and yeah, maybe things got a little screwed up here and there. But I look at it this way: even the best mechanic has an off day. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying? You
absolutely.
could sit,
You're
everything in the
only
world
freaking
and still
human.
screw something up. Yep, you're
Yep.
only human. So it's like now that I mean, the car's still not quite right yet. It does run. It will drive. You know what I'm saying? But as a matter of a vacuum situation, I think it has to do with the base of the carburetor. You know what I mean? The gasket that goes on
Mm-hmm.
the intake.
Right.
And I think I need to get new studs that go into the actual intake itself because they're all like different sizes. But she doesn't have a knock anymore. Like I kept saying to everybody, it was a false knock. And they're like, no, there's no such thing as that. And people were telling me about the partial spun bearing. The partial spun bearing happened, and it stopped me from turning it by hand. And when I went to crank it by the ignition, it was so slow, it would never have started anyway.
Right.
So me taking that off and, doing the plastic gauge all around that journal in 4 points, like you were looking at a compass, north, south, east, and west, and then putting that cap back on and torquing it down to 35 foot-pounds, and then taking it off and getting a proper reading of 0.002 tells you that there was nothing wrong with the journal,
Yeah, Jason showed me how to use that plastic gauge years ago.
Yeah.
Aggravated the shit out of me, but I finally figured it out.
Yeah, you gotta have to actually put it on there on the journal itself, and then have the cap ready to go up on it. Otherwise, you're gonna be fighting with it,
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't stick until it gets squished or it doesn't press
Yep.
itself. But everything for me was a learning experience too. And now the thing is like I was always, I don't know, I guess messed up with the timing, but I was getting some bad information. Everybody telling me, put the well, not everybody, but certain people that really didn't know were telling me to put the bottom gear at 12 and the top gear at 12 and drop the distributor in at 6. I've never done anything like that on a car. First thing I did and always remembered was the bottom gear goes at 12, the top gear goes at 6, and the distributor
Mm-hmm.
gets dropped in at 1.
Yep.
So because of the frustration of that and other things, I was supposed to hone out the cylinder walls and all that other junk. I did what they call a dingleberry hone out.
Yep.
30 seconds, you know what I mean? Just enough to give it the crosshatch. That's it.
Yep.
And that's why it runs.
That's the same thing I did when I built motor in my red pickup truck.
Right.
All the other motors I built were all brand new, so I didn't have to do that.
Right.
Yeah, Dan, that square body I got to work on Sunday. It was a fun little thing to do. He put a carburetor on it, and it actually had sniper injection on it, the Holley sniper, but he couldn't get it to work. He was aggravated. He took it off, put a carburetor on it, and asked me to come adjust it.
Sometimes nothing works like the old stuff,
If it would have been a power adder, I would have bought the carburetor and put it on and everything, and I would have taken it and put it on my car because I wanted a power adder.
Right.
But it wasn't. So I would be no better off than where I am now.
I see. The only thing I could think of doing as far as upgrading my car would be to take it from a two barrel intake to a 4-barrel intake.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's already got the dual exhaust, so you don't need that. You got the hump exhaust,
Right.
So there you go. There, it's like having open exhaust headers. So it's really not much different.
Dan, if you remember, that's my daughter. But I've been fortunate where I've got to play with all kinds of different fuel injection, and the injectors that are in my Phytech are The same injectors in an old multi-port GM. It's just inside the throttle body. Same thing
See,
with the Hollies. It's all regular injectors. They're just hidden inside of that body. It looks like a carburetor or throttle body.
Yep. See, that's the thing I had with my 2014 Ram 1500. Now, I had gotten that car from the dealership and our truck, and I was still making payments on it. And then we had valve guide issues with that, and that was a problem. So I took that back to have that fixed. Then it was throttle body issues. But what they did was they got pissed off and broke the clips that are supposed to plug in to the throttle body. They broke them off, literally. So, I mean, I'm sitting there trying to start the truck. It won't start. I can't get it out of park. What does that tell you? You know what I mean? And then after they fixed that, I was up in Sussex going to see my brother, and the truck broke down over at a ShopRite on 23. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, well, what the hell's wrong with this damn thing now? I take the damn radiator cap off, and there's this orange chunky shit in the radiator. It's like head gasket and sealant shit. So it was already gone, and somebody tried to patch it with that stop leak or whatever and caused that to happen.
That sucks.
That's when it was time to turn the truck back. And they're lucky I didn't sue them for lemon laws. Pre-certified my butt.
So I adjusted that carburetor, changed metering rods, all kinds of stuff, because they put some kind of a little mild RV cam in this big block that's in it. And so I had to change a few things because it had a real bad stumble, and it was going lean as you're tipping into the throttle. Well, we had to drive it a couple times. I'm going to show you a picture that we were driving this thing at 50 mile an hour.
Really?
I can't find this picture. Yeah. The steering wheel started getting sloppy on us.
Wow.
That's at the bottom of the steering column.
Yeah.
The steering shaft broke off.
See, that's what I'm facing with the 57. It's like sometimes when I start it and put it in gear, it won't go back to park. You have to like literally force it. But I think it might be the actual nuts that hold the steering wheel in place inside into the mesh. I think they might be loose because I had taken that plate off in order to repaint it.
Dan, I tried the accelerator pump thing, and there's 3 settings on it, and none of that worked. But when I pulled a spark plug and it was white, so I added some more fuel and put the medium metering rod in it, got idle cleared up, and then took it back out and ended up still having to jet it up because it still popped and cracked at higher RPM and the timing was dead on. But then we found out that steering shaft was loose, and I don't know if it's actually 100% yet.
I got a question for you, Rob.
What?
I took the valve. Remember I told you when I was putting the connecting rod bearings in and the cylinders were dry and I was getting like a low compression reading? Like 25, 75, and 90. Okay. What I did was I put Marvel's Mystery Oil in it because, like I said in the beginning, when I took the oil pan off, it took me a while to put those bearings in. Like it sat without oil for months on end. The oil pan was back up on there, but there was no oil in it because I didn't want any mice in there or anything making a nest. So me putting the Marvel's Mystery Oil in the cylinders is what boosted the compression to a higher number. Now, when I got done setting everything up as far as all the connecting rod bearings go and putting everything back together and the oil and everything and dropping the distributor in right, it was running fine. But as I was taking the plugs out, the 3 that, I put the Marvel's Mystery Oil in, they had a lot of carbon buildup on it. Now that's like fouled out plus running rich, isn't it?
It can be some oil too.
No, the oil is underneath. It's like, because it's already dried out. I already put new plugs in. but I'm just saying that the plugs itself, it looked like there was a
Okay.
lot of burnage on the spark plug itself. A lot of carbon buildup,
I
not
mean, if it's
just
black, it's fuel.
yeah, that means it's fuel. So it means it's running
Mhm.
rich.
Yep.
And I would think that the
You make sure
throttle,
that the intake's not leaking.
right. Yeah, well, I can double check that because I can't take my foot off the gas pedal. If I do, it conks out.
Yeah. Sounds like you might have a vacuum leak.
Okay. And if anything, it's got to be up top. I know it's not the heads because I can hear the compression when I turn it off.
Right. Dan,
So
it was an Eldebrock AVS2 carburetor. It wasn't a Holly.
so I've still been buying Hot Wheels. I got a whole bunch of them today. And Matchbox, you can see the clothesline.
Oh yeah.
They were selling them for like a quarter a piece. I'm like, what the hell? I think I got about 100, 150, something like that.
You said you did check the timing on that, didn't you?
Yeah, the timing's dead on. It's dead
Is
on.
that when the 4 before top dead or 4 after?
I think it's I mean it's actually when I dropped the distributor back in the last time, I actually took the spark plug off of number 1 and ran a screwdriver in for side of the
whoa.
it hit the side of the piston wall.
Yeah.
So I knew it was at top dead center because it was all the way up. And then
I
you know,
know.
one.
But did you actually check the timing of the timing light?
Yeah, it's actually dead on.
Dead on 0?
It's on 0, yeah.
Okay, but without the vacuum advance hooked up on that, did you set the timing?
No, the vacuum advance was always hooked up.
Did you disconnect it?
It's hooked right into the carburetor.
Right. You disconnect the vacuum advance, set your base timing, and then
Okay.
hook the advance back up.
I don't think I did that. I know I checked it with the timing light afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, with your advance hooked up, you can check total timing, but
What's that?
with your advance hooked up, you can, hit the gas and check total timing.
Right. But you say it might be the intake that might be loose still and it might be leaking. That might be the problem.
That or it's just there's a vacuum leak. That's just what it sounds like to me, or it could be timing related too.
Okay. So it literally could be the intake gasket going to underneath the carburetor.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Not a big deal.
Dan, Hollies I can rebuild all day long. I don't mind them whatsoever. Now, Quadrajets I've attempted a few times, and I don't know why they just aggravate the shit out of me. I can't get them right.
I had no problem rebuilding mine. Jesus.
Well, my brother Jeremy, he's gone through a couple Q jets for me, and they're typically great. But
Yeah.
there's a guy up the road from us. His name's it's Chris's Carbs. This guy, he just waves his magical carburetor wand over it, and
Voila.
you typically don't even have to adjust anything. You just throw it back on, it's done.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can have to set curb idle, but most times you don't even touch it.
Yeah, well, my friend that I actually worked for at Lakeside Tire, the owner of the place, he told me, he said that if you have that air and gas mixture screws in the front of the carburetor set at a turn and a half, that's too much because it's just sucking in more than what it needs to.
Sometimes it all depends. I was advised by a seasoned mechanic to replace and do not attempt to rebuild. QJ back in the early 90s. I don't really. Oh, yeah. Now I've got what's going on, Ron. Uh, Jeremy is really good at those damn Q jets.
I don't think there's
Autolite
anything in the box.
2V. That's like a Ford carburetor, isn't it? The Autolite.
You mean a 4-barrel?
No, the Autolite. He's saying that Autolite 2V. I think that's the regular old 2-barrel. I think. I don't know, but those AVS2 Edelbrock carburetors, I put those on almost everything that comes in that needs a carburetor.
Yeah, so the only thing I get now for the 57 is just a regular. Yes. I'll be back in a minute. I got to use the facility.
Sure. Damn, look at all them Hot Wheels.
That ain't nothing. That's a drop in a bucket.
You got one sitting behind you. Yeah, I thought so. I remember you'd mentioned about the Autolite carburetors, but when I was at Advance, I sold a bunch of those Autolite 2-barrels and having to match up all those damn numbers. God, I hated that. And then the Quadrajets, they had a couple of them up there that they were pretty much universal. There was like 3 different Quadrajets on the shelf, and all 3 fit so many different years. People would say, "No, I can't pull it off. I got to put this carburetor up here, drive it up here." And I'm like, "Nah, ain't happening." It's like, you bring that carburetor so I can match all this crap up. That running on a Mutt-Tang. Yeah, you're right, Dan. Makes it definitely a whole lot easier to tune, but I had an old 650 spread bore Holly that I ran for a long time. And it had the flathead screws in it for a long, long time, and they always leaked. And then somebody, I can't remember who it was,
Looking at the Hot Wheels that are pinned against the
blue
wall.
gaskets to put on the bowls, and it never leaked again.
There's some more. Oh yeah, here's the mother load.
Wow.
It's like about, I don't know, over 3,000 of them. Oh.
That's a lot of Hot Wheels.
Yeah, sure is. Oh.
You got any old ones worth anything?
Oh, I got some old ones. Yeah, I got, you see up there on against the wall, see up on that shelf?
Mm-hmm.
There's a Hot Wheels carrying case. That's 1969. There's about 48 of them in there. Then on the shelf above the TV, there's a bunch of red lines up there. Then I have red lines on the wall. And I have them all over the place. They're out in the laundry room, too.
Wow. It was the Vaseline or chapstick or something I remember hearing about on those gaskets. You on your phone, Rich?
Yeah,
Okay, that's probably why you can't see the comments.
yeah, I can't. Was that Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I still have a.
Dan.
I still have to put this on. Uh, it wasn't actually the front main leaking. It was the oil pan gasket, the new one.
Yeah.
But the one that's on there, I literally thought it was actually the front main leaking. It wasn't. It was actually the timing chain cover screws. Because in 57
shit.
they had flathead screws that go in it,
Mm-hmm.
and they weren't tightened down. So
Oh,
that's
wow.
why the oil was coming out. It was leaking out, and I'm looking at the crank. Yeah, the crank. Crank's on the bottom. And where it comes out, it wasn't wet at all. There was no oil on that at all, and it was all over the timing chain cover and splashed up against the back of it and everything else. And you could see it running down the crack and around the oil pan. So I knew it was, it was a timing chain cover.
Well, be glad you don't have to drop that damn oil pan then.
Oh man, well, my situation now, I got like what is it, OCPD. I got the asthma issues. Like every once in a while,
Yeah.
I get lightheaded and I have a problem breathing. So I'm not interested in going back up underneath that car again. I'm telling you that right now. As you get older,
Sorry to hear that.
yeah, as you get older, it just not in your best interest. I tried, but I think that'll be my last car that I restore as far as the engine goes. And I still have to get up underneath the olds in order to replace the return coolant line for the transmission, because that's what's spraying up all along the firewall on the passenger side. Like a pinhole in a damn line,
Yeah. Yeah, I ran those metal lines forever and ever. And what's up, Damien? I ended up running across those braided hoses and fittings for the transmission, so I can actually route them to where I can keep them away from everything and not get hot.
Right.
Colleen, what's happening?
Yeah, well, the transmission coolant lines on the 57 are the same as the olds, believe it or not. They're at the bottom of the radiator. But I don't have any problems with the ones on the 57 at all.
Yo, Dr. Art.
I think I'm going to probably shave this off. This thing's making me look like I'm about 60 years old. I'm only 54. What the hell's with this? I look like Grandpa Moses.
Now, if I shave any of this off, I look like I'm 12. So,
well, but see, that's the funny thing is, like, this is all white here, and then over here it's black, over here it's black, and all underneath my nose it's strawberry blonde. Like I look like a frickin' pinata. Anybody got a bat?
I'll be 48 in July.
Yeah, you ain't no spring chicken either.
No, that's the whole thing. I'm still going to work on cars.
Mm-hmm.
Did you all come here in the same car or something? Everybody showed up at the same time. But
there's one thing I'm doing. I'm cutting back on my smoking. I'm not interested in that anymore. Well, I can't. I tried quitting cold turkey, Rob. I wound up in the hospital, had a stent put in my arteries, a heart attack. It's not worth it that way, you gotta
I
wean
didn't
off.
quit cold turkey.
Yeah.
It just got to the point where it took me a week and a half to smoke a pack of cigarettes. And I tried to switch over to that the little vape pen.
Yeah.
I'd either forget it, lose it, forget to charge it, run out of juice, and I said screw it. I threw some bitch away.
Yeah. I bought one of them too. I got one in the game room, but I don't, I can't do it. That stuff there, that'll make me gag, worse than the cigarette does. So,
well, and that's what it started doing. So it aggravated the shit out of me.
Yep.
Jason was doing it too, and then I think he ended up quitting it too.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I see. The thing is with me, well, I do it. Let's see. All right, I've opened this yesterday, and there's 9 left. So, I don't smoke that much to begin with. I smoke about maybe 10 a day maximum.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, unless it's a stressful situation, then I'll smoke a little bit more,
Man, there are still days where one of the guys at work will fire one up, and I'm like,
Yeah, I used to be like that too. I came out of Walmart today after doing my morning run because I didn't smoke at all this morning because you can't when you're
Yeah.
driving kids. And I come out of Walmart and I'm like, I need to get the hell away from that, man. That thing is making me sick.
Yeah, there's other times I smell it. It smells like a big, dirty, dumped
Yeah.
ashtray, and it's disgusting.
And I kind of, when I said that, I was like remembering all the people that gave me flack.
Yep.
I mean, they're usually the worst ones because they're the ones that smoke themselves,
Right. Yeah. I still every once in a great while I'll actually have a craving, but it doesn't last long.
No. No, and with me, it's like it's becoming less and less of a craving. It's becoming more of an annoyance.
There was a time where I think me and Jason, we'd go through a couple packs of cigarettes sitting there just watching YouTube, just not realizing what in the hell we're doing. We're just drinking a beer, smoking a cigarette. And before you know it, I'm like, holy shit, I need cigarettes.
And then before you know it, you're looking at the ashtray and it's filled with butts.
Yeah, so Jason's garage smelled like cigarettes forever. And now it doesn't.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of that whole ordeal myself. So, and I found out I got this spool stuff for the welding machine. It's not the right stuff. It's actually for aluminum. So I'm going to take these back to Harbor Freight because they have never even been opened. And I'm going to get one big ass spool of the metal stuff. Start doing some metal welding. That'll be it,
Heck yeah. Yeah, I think, being all bent over working on cars all day long, I think if I take a step back and maybe, lead and help someone do it rather than doing it all, I'll be able to save my back.
Right. And now, see, the thing is, Rob, is a lot of people have their own way of doing things. Like, my way is unorthodox from everybody else because they have a certain principle and guidelines that they follow. Me, I just play it by ear. You know what I'm saying? And it actually, let's just put it this way. I think it actually pissed off 2 hacks. And I didn't mean to do that, but it's just like, I don't have the time to do the things that he does the way he does them. You know what I'm saying? I don't know anybody that does. If you're working a job, you really can't. I don't know anybody that could sit there and he does good work. I'm not going to say that he doesn't, because he does.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't have that kind of time at my disposal. You know what I mean? And that's where the problem lies. So.
Yeah, and we run across that too because, we'll have mechanics bring in their cars that were mechanics back in the day. And, well, why didn't you do it this way or this way or this way? And I'm like, well, it was done this way. It was still done correctly, and it's done.
Right. Like a lot of people were telling me.
You just got to kind of live loosely and.
Yeah, I mean, you hear some of the stuff, but not everything. Because, like I said, if you have too many chefs in the kitchen, it spoils the stew. You know what I'm saying? You get too much information from too many different people doing it their way, and not, the way that you would do it or the way that you know how to do it. And then they would get offended because, they act like you're not taking their information, to be helpful to you.
Yeah.
And that's not what it was. My situation was there was a couple times where I knew, like I said, with the cogs, the top and the bottom gear, I knew for a fact that I've done that before. And I know there's no such thing as doing that way. And that's what was holding me up from getting that car running, was because I kept going back and forth on it. Well, maybe they are right. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe they're right. I don't know. I think it just pissed a lot of people off, but I didn't do any of it. It's just a matter of me trying to get my bearings and get it done,
Right. I understand. Hang on a second. I'll be right back.
Yep. Let's see. Oh. I do have the computer here. Maybe I can just turn it on. Okay. Yeah. Now, if anybody's talking to me, I can't see it because I'm on my phone. The only way I'd be able to do it is if I actually jumped off of here, set my internet to, yeah, see, there's nothing there.
Sorry.
Hey, Rob, let me try something. I'm going to try and get on my laptop. If I get booted
Sure, go
off,
ahead.
back in, all right?
Okay. Oh, what's everybody else been up to? What's everybody else been up to? Sorry about that. Dan, did I mention that truck was a big block? It was so nice. He got that cast aluminum dress up kit for it. I think it was an Edelbrock RPM intake. Few things we got to fix still. He's not a real strong mechanic, but he's mechanically inclined. So,
Like me.
Yeah, but he probably couldn't tear a motor apart.
Oh, you mean the way I did it while it's still inside the end in the car?
Right. Hey, Colleen, I got to go out. It took me 45 minutes to get out there and only took me 37 to get back for some weird reason on the same damn roads. It was weird.
Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a big block Chevy 1-ton pickup truck. And God, it was so much fun. But once he's got a new steering column coming, and I'm going to help him reattach that steering shaft.
Okay, let's see if it's going to get me on there. Let's see. Okay. Laptop it is.
Oh, speaking of laptop, I owe the guy for. He's supposed to come back to the shop and get his money, and he still hasn't.
Wow.
I owe the guy for. He's supposed to come back to the shop and get his money. He still hasn't. Wow.
All right, let me get off of here, Rob, and see if it's because it's going to be a little bit delayed laptop's a little slower,
Sure.
but at least I'll be there, you know?
Okay.
All right, let me get over here. It's going to be a little bit delayed.
Yeah, I can hear it playing back on his phone. But the fuel injection that he took off that big block, he sold to his buddy to put on a small block truck that they want me to put on for him. And I think I'm going to try and video that one. It was just so freaking cold working on that truck in that barn. He had no heat. So I didn't bother trying to record anything. I just took a couple pictures and washed my hands and left. If he wouldn't have had the barn there, I would have never stayed. There was so much wind out where he lived out in the country. Oh, man, it was cold. And it was what year big block you say that was? I think he said it was a 70s, late 70s, 396.
There we go.
Colleen, for the longest time, I thought your avatar picture was of a guy wearing sunglasses and a backwards ball cap. Oh, wow. The grill is the sunglasses, the hood is the forehead, and the tent is the backwards ball cap with a back triangle. Oh my God. That's pretty good. Hell of imagination, Dan. I couldn't figure out what the hell it was. I just know thumbing through YouTube, I saw the picture and clicked on it so I could see bigger, and then I saw the front end of the car.
Rob, which one do I close? Because I got StreamYard and YouTube.
YouTube. Or you just mute it or pause it, whichever.
Okay. That should get rid of the echo.
It is a badass car. I actually went in and I don't know why, but I can't see any of my channels I subscribe to that are live.
Really?
Yeah, for some reason I've got everybody else. But I think I want to say they had the meme show or something going on when I get online or before. One or the other. I can't remember which. And I always try to catch it to be able to get in there and see it, but I don't see nothing. I don't understand. I can't. None of the people I'm subscribed to is actually on here. Why is that?
Page with the channel feed using the browser YouTube. That's suggested
Well,
video.
yeah, I've done that. I've done that, and then I click on live, and that shows everybody that's live right now. Yeah, I just don't. It's aggravating as shit sometimes.
Yeah, because you think it would be just right there, you know? So you
Yeah.
have to dig for it.
Well, and typically any of the people I'm subscribed to will come up on that when I click live also. I'm just wondering what the hell's going on. Why can't I not?
Well, I got somebody that's got the glass for me. Guess who it is?
Who's that?
DD Speed Shop.
Really? That's
Yep.
sweet.
I talked to him. He's like $158 for all 4 panes. I'm like, okay. But the shipping's going to kill me because that's going to be like $110, you know?
That's actually not bad.
No, it's not, because actually the glass is more expensive if you go online, you know? And
Eric
this is
says
the
O ring
OEM
starts
stuff.
at 8.
Hey, Jason. Yeah, usually Jason comes in here on your stream, doesn't he, Rob?
Yeah, he's just been busy, and he had been sick for a little while, and every time I go live, he always got sick, so he didn't want to get on here snotting and sneezing and shit.
Yeah, Danny, he is. I actually have him. I talk to Dan on Instagram sometimes. I actually
Jason, why
mentioned him
haven't
in
you
one of my
gone?
videos. Huh?
Why haven't you come on Thursday, Jason? I'm about to come bombard you tomorrow and talk to you. I got some good news and shit.
See, I used to watch Vice Grip Garage too, but he's gone too commercial, you know? I like to call it
Yeah,
sellout. You know, the stuff that the hell is that? That green powder mix he's trying to sell, and Hello Fresh and VPN. I'm like, I don't think so.
been busy. Cindy, I knew about Cindy's mom being in the hospital. I know. I was talking with Jeremy when Kaylee called him about that last Wednesday.
Who's Cindy's mom? Or who's Cindy?
Jason's mother-in-law.
Oh. How's she doing now, though, Jason?
And I got tired of Vice Grip Garage when he put in the supercharger on the yellow C3.
I used
What's
to
up,
like
Unfinished?
I used to like his old stuff when he, would like fix up something that
He
was
had
seized up and drive
fun
it home.
doing it.
Huh?
He had fun doing it. Now he just has a purpose, and it's not as fun.
No.
Jason, who is Eric? You have to refresh my memory. There's too many damn names to keep up with. What channel is he?
Yeah, I went and got some tires put on those Stingray rims. And for the longest time, I had one of the back ones sitting off to the side, and the damn thing went flat. So I brought it to the garage today. I says, "What the hell's wrong with this? Is it a valve stem or the freaking bead?" So they turned around and told me it was the bead. I'm like, Yeah, Jason, I'm sorry. I didn't know that was going on. So
Huh. I
kind
am
of hard to keep
subscribed.
track of people, you know.
Let's see. Huh. Yeah, it's not making the link. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go over here. Yeah, there we go. Ah, that's why. I'm not subbed to that one. That's why I didn't see it.
As long as you keep busy, man, I think that kind of helps you from thinking about things and dwelling on them. Sometimes that's the best medicine. Jesus. I got to get another couch, man. This thing is like old. It looks like something that a freaking
Thanks, I'm finished.
gang would have. The red crushed velvet. Like what
Hey,
the
you ain't
hell?
got the plastic covering it yet, do you?
No, hell no. My ex-wife here would be.
So I went I had a really nice sectional for a really long time and I loved it. The corner of that sectional was my hut. I'd sit
Mhm.
in that corner and I could lay my head back and fall asleep.
Oh, I do that here all the time.
Well, this thing I could stay sitting up.
That's what I mean.
Well, the kids destroyed it, so I got rid of it. I paid $200 for the couch and love seat I have now, and I've had it for freaking ever.
Yeah.
But the two recliners, one recliner reclines, but the foot part is broke. The other recliner still works, but the love seat, you sit in it and like you sink.
Yeah.
And I told them, I'm like, I ain't buying any more new shit until
No.
y'all are gone.
They don't make any. Because they don't make anything like they used to either. I mean, the
Yeah,
freaking
well,
cushions and everything. Come on, this is actually a fold-out bed. This thing here.
well, that's what my sectional had in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we would all get sick, we'd pull out the bed.
Mm-hmm.
We'd all sit there, get sick together, watch movies.
Hey, what better way to spread germs?
Well, I mean, everybody, caught it, got over it. Everybody
Yep.
was better again. So
Yeah, you weren't playing past the buck every couple of weeks.
exactly. So yeah, it sucked, but it was a easier way to go about it. Where's she at, Jason?
Yeah.
I am going over to T's house Thursday after work, and I'm going to help him with the hawk. We're pulling the heads off his 5.7 and yeah, like chicken pox. Hang on, y'all. February 3rd is halfway point for the winter, spring. Yes, I know. I'm counting it down, but yeah, we're pulling the heads off his 5.7 and his Firehawk, his 99, and I'm gonna open up those heads for him to the bigger gasket for his other intake that he's getting,
Mm-hmm.
and he's already got the big headers on it, so I'm just gonna open up the top side of his exhaust for it to exhaust a little bit quicker. or a little more exhaust go out. So, because the camshaft he has for it's going to be crazy. He got it for road racing. He does autocross. Well, if you look back at some of my shorts, I put a bunch of shorts videos up for autocross.
Okay.
The 99 like silver colored Firehawk is his car.
Oh, all right.
And I actually went for a ride with him too. One of those videos is on there. And it was hell holding on to my phone. I mean, he's hitting these hairpin turns at 60 miles an hour. And he's got 13 and a half inch wide tires all the way around that car.
Damn.
Yeah. I think
You
there's
ain't got to worry about flipping over with them damn things.
No. Well, and it's lowered to the ground too. But 315, 40, 18, I think is what that tire size was.
Jesus.
Yeah, the sidewall's about that tall, but a tread 13 inches wide.
See, that's what I was thinking about doing with the 57, because they say you can only get a certain amount of size in there because that's not really a wheel well in there on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
So I have one 225 70R 15,
Mm-hmm.
and they're 8-inch rims, as far as from one side to the other. But the
My
other
275 60 drag radials I put on a 15 by 10 wheel under my Camaro.
Yeah, I was thinking about putting I have another set of tires that are 14s, but they went for my original rims.
Mm-hmm.
But they're so freaking tiny, I'm afraid I'm gonna wind up scraping the oil pan. It'll be something like this, but
Rob, how familiar you are with Mopar? I was going to gasket match the exhaust and headers, but the gasket holes are huge. As far as the castings go, Colleen, I'm not super sure, but I'm sure you could probably find someone on YouTube somewhere that has done it. I found a guy years ago, actually sitting over at Jason's, and he showed me where to cut away on the small block Chevy head to make it, flow and port match and all that shit, because you don't have to cut open every single part of that hole. You've got the intake side, which is, ramping in this way. So you clear out the bottom side and just port match the top. And then on the exhaust, it goes out this direction. So you do the top side and just port match the bottom. So he showed me exactly how much you could cut away on this casting on a small block Chevy. So, dude, there was a pile of shavings on Jason's workbench. I mean, it was fucking everywhere. But I'm telling you what, those suckers flow good. So, to answer that question, I'm thinking of making a better gasket to match the holes. Now, wait a minute. Gasket match the exhaust in the headers, but the gasket holes are huge. Okay, so I'm kind of, how much bigger are they? Colleen, find my, you click on my page, my YouTube channel, get my email address and send me pictures. Oh God, yes, I remember that. I was looking at Jason while he was doing these cylinder heads for his Ford.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he was retarded, the shit that he was doing to these heads. But now I see why. So you do that, Colleen, I'll send you my number and you can text me too and make it a little easier. Let's see. But Dan, to your comment, Corvette killer, I was going to go back to that because, damn, half of the field out there at that autocross was Corvettes. And if you watch a couple of those shorts, you'll watch 3 of those Corvettes. Well, 2 of which were supercharged. One was an LS turbo swap in like a 1975. And he was cleaning people up. But that's where T wants to try and stay in competition with everybody else because, I mean, he's only finished in the top, in the top 15. Sometimes it gets him money, but in most cases it doesn't. It gets him a trophy or some shit. So if he can get the top 10, he can get the money. So different cradle, control arms, all kinds of stuff. And then, of course, we're making the motor a little more top end friendly, where his motor really wasn't top end friendly. It's kind of hard to explain when you do autocross stuff. He had a good mid-range power, but he wasn't building power where he needed to up here.
The funniest thing, Rob, is that I realized the engine in that 57 Chevy is a 4.6, no different than the Triton motor.
Huh?
Yeah.
Don't ever say that again.
4.6.
No.
4.6 Triton motor. That's exactly what it is.
No, not T's garage. His name's Terry. I don't know if he actually put any. Can't remember if he did a YouTube channel or not. He needs to because he's got a bunch of really nice videos of him driving.
I'm still going to make that video of
Which
me
one?
driving the car out of the driveway.
Oh. Jason says a little different, Rich.
Hey,
That's what I kept saying.
all that matters.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, cubic, the size as far as that goes, 4.6.
Man, we had a 2005, I think it was, E250 show up at the shop last week, running bad. And I looked at the other guy working there and I went, oh. Like, I don't want to work on it. Get it out of here. Nope. Oh, it's a rust bucket too, so I'm sure it's going to be fun.
Oh, that's what everybody. If there was a lot of people were telling me about my car, that 57 is a Bondo bucket. I'm like, no, it's not.
Spark plug nightmare. That is correct. I've got a spark plug repair kit, but I'm trying to sell it because I don't want to use it anymore.
I don't want it.
The first few hundred of those I did. Okay, now I'm over it.
Nope, just go out and buy a new set. Hell with it.
Well, you only do so many of those spark plug repairs, and it gets to be annoying. I'm like, you guys need to go fix something.
Other than the spark plug.
Give that damn thing away. Triton's got phasers and all that crap too. Yeah, they do. They improved it some, but even the EcoBoost still do the same shit too. So, and now the Ford 4-liter in the Edge and whatever it is, they put the damn water pump inside the engine. So if it starts leaking, it leaks right into the freaking engine. Yeah. So, and those have the phasers now where the pins break off just like on the 4.6s and everything else too. So yeah, they're retarded. And then GM goes to a modular motor with the same similar design. They're getting retarded too.
One follows suit of the other.
Yeah, we own one of those.
Monkey see,
I've
monkey do.
I've
Monkey get
got
in
that
trouble
water
too.
pump down. I can get that water pump done in about 2.5 hours now.
You want to know what was funny though, Rob? Is like when I first started working on this car,
Mm-hmm.
I had some guy that came over and took a look at it, told me he was going to charge me $900 to do a timing chain.
Why?
Beats the hell out of me. It's not even a 3-hour job.
God dang. I'll pay you to do it.
Yeah, it's like, I ain't paying you.
Dan,
that
that's a
$100.
different generation 4.6, and I'm talking about the 4-liter. Pretty sure it's a 4-liter. It's not the 3.5.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. But we do so many timing chains and water pumps on those things. It's insane. They call for like 6.5, 7 hours. I can get them done in a couple to 2.5 now because I've done so damn many. Now, the Edge is really easy, but the Explorer, that one's a little tighter. You got to pull the wiper cowl and other shit to do that one.
Yeah, a
And
lot of
it's
them
actually
are a pain in the ass. That's one of the reasons why I like working on the old ones, is because you ain't got to worry about all that other extra garbage. That's
Right.
on them, you know?
Yeah, the 3.5 does have it too. Yeah, I forgot about that. I just done so many damn of the freaking the new ones now that it drives me crazy. But yeah, I can buzz those sucker out pretty quick now. These people need to stop messaging me. Hi, Wendy. Welcome home. There's a lot one could get wrong doing a timing chain small block Chevy. I'd drive right. Man, I could only wish to have an easy chain job nowadays.
Yeah, the old cars are real easy, man.
Yeah,
Just got to take everything off the front. That's all.
I had an 08 Lexus ES350 come in that the guy killed the starter because he couldn't get the car started. So he put a starter on it, all to find out that it needed a timing belt. So instead of him just getting it towed in, getting a look and see why it's running bad, it cost him more to get a starter put on it. In the time the car sat in the shop, the battery took a crap. So I go to start the car and it just clicks. I check the battery and it shows 12.5 volts, but the starter won't turn over.
Right.
So I was thinking maybe I had a bad starter. I put the jump box on it, cranked right up. So then he couldn't afford another battery. So he just had me jump it. He drove it home. And then on his next paycheck, he was putting another battery in it. So yeah, he had a bad day.
Oh yeah.
To do that timing belt in that 08 Lexus, it's just like a Toyota. I think it paid like 3.5, and it took me like an hour. I think just because I remember doing so many of them back in the day.
Serpentine timing belt.
Well, the caulk belt, yeah.
Yeah.
Where you just pull the plastic cover to do the timing belt.
Yeah. It's not like the old days with a chain.
Like I said, if I had even an old Buick, I don't care. I'll pull that big ass timing cover off. Hit it with a hammer and have a beer, Blake said.
Yeah, right.
Good to see you, dude.
One way to get rid of it.
Mr. Blake. Yeah, the Ford 302s and the 38s, those things I had to goop up so bad because we couldn't get them to seal up with just a gasket. Where am I getting that echo from? Is that you?
No, my phone's off. It ain't from me. It was when I had all the other damn things open, but remember I closed them.
What the heck?
And I don't have my phone's over here.
That was a weird echo. I don't have it now.
I found out you got to keep the phone away from the laptop, otherwise you get the echo.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I've got 3 engine jobs. Oh God, Jason, Christy Gilland, Andy's daughter, putting a motor in her 23 Kia Seltos. 2 oil changes in 52,000 miles.
Jesus.
So I'm putting a motor in it right now.
Yeah, how long is that going to last?
Well, I don't know because I've talked to her and she's beating herself up over it. And I was just like, well, I mean, you're the only one to blame for it because you're driving the car.
Yeah.
So the brakes are grinding metal to metal. So I'm doing a engine with 26,000 miles. The front pads and rotors, 2 front tires that are almost bald in alignment.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob, check this out. When was the last time you seen a point set like this?
Just turn up the radio. I think that's what she did.
See, look, here it comes.
That reminds me, I have 5,000 miles on my oil. Need to change. Yes. Oh, yeah. I haven't seen a set like that in a while, but yeah,
That's
I do remember
old,
them.
man. It's all falling
Yeah.
apart. I've had these so long, man. It's not even funny.
Dan, she drives to Columbus, Cleveland, all stuff like that. She does like a courier type service thing and also delivers papers.
That would be the reason why. Puts a lot
So
of miles on it.
So we've kind of made a deal with her that when she gets mileage on the car, we'll Rob, I've had my Camry input 12K on the same oil and fill. Bro, we're talking about old school, okay? That's an old Camry. Those things are bulletproof. This one's brand new. These new Kias and Hyundais, they can't take that type of abuse. But we made a deal with her that she'll drop the car off and we'll get her a lift ride home.
I'll be right back.
So that way, I understand. I know, man. There are so many of those old Toyotas that still come into the shop with 1 billion miles on them. And they probably got 4,000 or 5,000 miles on a 3,000 mile oil change. We have a Kia at the shop that the engine is under recall. Yes, we got a bunch of recall engines, but some of them they won't take under recall because of the abuse like this. Because her engine they wouldn't replace under warranty. Pontiac says 7,500. What? What kind of Pontiac is it? When it stops leaking, it's empty. Yeah. I'm going to leave that comment right there and not go any further because I'll get a lot of people not liking me. Okay. My oil is constant flow, so I just add, no need to change. Everybody has an airbag recall. My Chevy truck has an airbag recall. I just haven't done it yet. That's right, Dan.
Let me go get some vodka.
We have a Toyota Corolla that comes in from a customer we call PR Frank. It's got 416,000 miles on it, and she's finally about to trade it in.
They tried to tell me that the 57 has 613,000 miles on it.
What was that I was reading? What'd you say?
They tried to tell me DMV is so stupid that they titled the 57 as having 613,000 miles on it.
Woo!
I'm sorry, but if it had that many miles on it, I think my car would be a Fred Flintstone car, first of all. And everything that would be in the trunk, if not tied down, would be flapping on the road behind the car.
Not sure what you're referring to about the new oil. Maybe you can fill in a little bit. Other than the 0W8 that I saw is coming out. Truck says with clean oil, 11K with well, nah. I'm supposed to go 5,000 miles on my Silverado with that synthetic, and it's always had synthetic in it. But I still only go 4,000, 4,500 sometimes. So I'm still going to have to put lifters in my truck this spring. Sucks, but I mean, it is what it is.
What is it called, Colleen? Mullion leaf? It's like something in my throat.
Yeah, it's part of the COPD.
Yeah.
But that might help with getting relief from it anyway.
Yeah. Well, see, that's another reason why I'm trying to stop smoking too, is because they said once that mucus thing stops, then it's done with, and then you can get cancer and everything else.
Right.
The mucus thing is like a protective barrier that's like trying to fight off the cancer.
Dan, we had a fleet that ran propane, and it's still carboned up the oil.
Yeah, I wish I never started, Colleen.
Yeah, that's it was fun and cool at first, but I didn't want to quit for a long time, but I ended up quitting.
Well, that's why I had to excuse myself, because I was trying to get it out of my throat,
Like the Crown Vics in the manual, it says normal. Oh yeah. Yeah, all auto manufacturers say a quart per 1,000 miles is acceptable with high miles on the vehicle. My old 3.3 liter Chrysler van, it was a 1998 or 99, something like that. I'd go 3,000 miles and use almost a quart of oil, which to me was acceptable because it almost had 300,000 miles on it. But something with 100K on it should not be using that much oil.
No. See, the one thing I did alleviate, though, when I first got that 57 and I drove it back and forth before the pistons actually completely severed from one another, from the aprons, you could put your finger on the exhaust tips and you'd have all that gray shit all over your fingers, the oil and water mixture. So I knew something was wrong then. But at that point, it really didn't make sense to try and save it. What are you going to do? It's already deteriorated past the point of no return. So the only thing you can do is rebuild everything or get rid of it.
Yeah, we always use wicks.
Well, the 57 doesn't have cartridge. It's got the actually doesn't have a filter. It's got a cartridge, so it is Wix. Wix is about the only one that makes the right one for it.
We converted all those over because the spin-on filters work better. You should probably look into doing that.
Well, right now, I'm just going to keep it stock in case I want to sell it. Because the whole damn.
That's okay too. I mean, if you plan on driving it a lot, keep the old cartridge.
Oh yeah.
But, I mean, all you have to do is put the adapter and a filter on it. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything extravagant to make it work.
Right.
But Wix is the only filter that fits the Camaro properly because the Fram, it won't thread on right. It's really, really tight. But then the big filter won't fit because of my headers or my oil pan.
Right.
But the Wix filter, it spins on there perfect.
Yep. I'm surprised they still make the cartridges for that car.
Oh, they'll always make them. There's too many on the road that they won't.
Oh yeah, people are pulling them out of freaking barns now. All of a sudden.
Yep.
It's like all the 57 Chevys that were thought to be gone are like magically reappearing again.
Right.
But you know what the thing is? You don't see too many 4-doors though.
And I can't recall that I have either.
That's what mine is. Mine's a 4-door.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, the way I had that one video done where it was like kind of dark out, because the top is black and the poles are black, you can't tell that it's a 4-door.
That's cool.
I really don't care though. I mean, it's got the engine, it has the transmission, you know what I'm saying? Now it's got a decent paint job, it's going to have decent interior, it has decent rims on it. It could be a grandma's grocery getter. It still look badass though.
Exactly.
And the olds, forget it. I got Cutlass rims for that damn thing.
I do not have pictures of when I first bought my car just because I didn't care about taking pictures back then.
Right.
So I had bright red Oldsmobile Rallies on that car when I first bought it.
Right.
And our friend James, because I got a set of those aluminum or cast aluminum Hurricane wheels. I was given a set of those, so he wanted a set of my Olds Rallies to put his slicks on.
Right.
So I gave him those, threw the other two away just because we had no use for them. And he ran those bright red Oldsmobile Rallies with slicks on his Firebird, I think for a whole year or two. But I mean, they were fire engine red, man. It looked like shit on that car. Lexus had the best oil filter system. Undo the.
Now you remember the aluminum slotted rims that they had for like the 55 Chevy?
Yeah, that's right, dude. I do remember that. Now say that again. I was reading.
Those aluminum slotted rims that they had for like the 55 Chevy.
Oh yeah.
I have a front set of those. I don't have the back ones.
You need to find a
I
set.
wish I had the whole damn thing, man. That looked badass on that car.
I bet Dan's got a set in his shed. Don't you, Dan?
Actually, the ones that I got them from this guy where I got the bumper from, the front bumper and the grill and all that other shit.
Yeah.
He had it sitting in a shed that was actually the roof caved in.
Oh.
And it's set like I gotta go back there because he's got a couple of old drums for 57. It might be something that might be salvageable off of those.
Dan says, wait, a set of what? Aluminum slots for his 57.
Yeah, like they had on the 55s. You know, they had those the white aluminum type rims. Oh, he's a Ford guy. He's not a Chevy.
Oh no, he's had them all. Oh, all your stash is Ford parts. Man, you said you drove Chevys too. Well, Levi or Dylan's got a set on his Laguna.
You know, the funny thing is, I'll probably wind up finding a set up here really local, real cheap. I seen a set not long ago for like $60, just the back ends.
I bet if you talk to Dylan, he'll find a set.
Trying to get rid of it because he didn't really care about it. I was like, I don't think he even knew.
Oh, damn, he does have a set. 5 on 5.5. Well, yours is 4 3/4, isn't it?
I don't know.
They should be the small bolt pattern like Mike Camaro.
I have to check.
He's got the big Ford and Dodge bolt pattern. The 5 on 5.5. I think that's Chevy too.
It might be. I have to check it. Because I got those, like I said, those Corvette Stingray rims. And I thought those were actually, I thought they were reproductions. They're not. They actually have a stamped number and letter down by
those
the top.
fit, that's 5 on 4 3/4. All Corvettes were 4 3/4 bolt pattern.
You see, I think I actually have a picture of it on the front of the 57, the one rim.
Yeah, Jason had Jason had 4 lug. I don't know what pattern that one was. And even the 5 lug, I don't know what the hell they were. I never paid attention to that part. There was a point in time I thought they all fit everything. I didn't know there was different bolt patterns. But
that's what I started to say when I found out people were just like, well, we're gonna go buy these rims and put them on this. And then you're sitting there like, okay. Ain't going on.
Well, you're young when you're learning, so I had no freaking clue.
All right. Well, I got a picture of the Corvette ones. Now I want to see if I got the other picture. Maybe not. No, not office lens. Derpy derp. Probably not. I probably don't have it anymore. Because my phone keeps getting up. I keep putting too many pictures on here and keep saying that space is filling up fast. And even that cloud crap doesn't work half the time, So did you like the pictures I sent you, Rob, of all the shit that I did on the car?
Yeah.
Isn't that lovely? Don't forget the sludge removal.
Right.
The intake.
Yeah, that was
God, it looked like somebody took
thick.
a crap in there. Yeah. But you know what? A horsehair paintbrush and diesel fuel. Boom. Knock it right the hell out.
All right, man. Well, as much as I hate to do it, I got to jump off here. I got to get the shower and get to bed.
What time is it?
But it was great having everybody.
I got to get up early, too.
Thanks for hanging out and talk, Rich.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Colleen and Tycho.
Everybody, y'all have a good night. Be safe.
whoever else is on here. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you.
Let's see, where is it? Okay.
We will later, Wendy. Unfinished, Dan, everybody.
Later, Dan. Later, Wendy.
We'll catch
Later,
you guys
Kelly.
next Tuesday.
What's that?